Yo, this your boy CEO Hockley. Real quick, man. Today's episode is being sponsored by OGHollywoodspeaks.com. Yes, that's right. OGHollywoodspeaks.com has this fly gear, man. Savage Drive, man. He has this very fly gear, man. He's a former prisoner that changed his life, did 25 years after receiving a life sentence, got home, and he been home 10 years, man. He's been out, he's been free 10 years. He has his own clothing line called Savage Drive. It represents the kind of drive you need to have to make it to the top, the kind of drive you need to have to stay free, right? And as we talk about this prison topic, I want to highlight and show and give respects to those that have been to prison and that are doing the right things in today's society. Everybody go to OGHollywoodspeaks.com and get that Savage Drive. If you got the drive it takes to be successful, man, support him. Also, you can follow him on YouTube. You can follow him on all social medias at OGHollywoodspeaks.com. We appreciate the support here at CEO Talk, and we also like to support other black people doing something positive, man. Savage Drive, that is the clothing line. Get yours today. Salute.
What's good? What's good, man? We back in the building, man. We back in the building, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. And y'all know what to do, man. Go to www.com, OG Hollywood Speaks, man, and get that Savage Drive gear. Because you gotta be a savage in this flatland, and you got to have the drive to go to the next level, right? Check this out. We've all watched the show, The Experiment, in Arkansas with the inmates was locked up, right? Today I'm gonna do my react video on that, man. Although we've already spoke on it, but I want to go in depth on a few things with a few people besides the strong people they call a so-called was in the jail that was appointed to keep the jail straight, right? Because there was some things that I looked up that wasn't talked about. Of course, they're going to always hold some shit out because they don't want the public to see this, right? But I understand that, man, that every man in jail, even the weak man, can be dangerous, right? 9 out of 10, the weakest person inside the jail is probably the first person that will kill your ass. Why? Because you're going to sleep on him. And you're going to always pay close attention to the people that you feel like is a threat to you. Anybody that you feel like that's beneath you, you're going to give them a pass. And that's the wrong answer, right? And the reason why I say that, because my experience of being incarcerated, man, for 25 years, I've seen the weakest man cut the strongest man's head off. Do it happen all the time? No. But I will tell you this. Nobody in any institution can be underestimated. And in this case, man, I seen some people that was underestimated, man, and they didn't talk about those people during the experiment. They only talked about those people after the experiment, right? And like I said, man, anytime you appoint anybody some make-believe power, man, and they build a team, it's going to be always the weaker person that gets fucked over. Simple as that. Why? Because everybody wants to be the strongest person in the tank. Or should I say, in this case, in the pod. And we already know Randy, true story as they call him, was the pod boss, and he built a team. He built a team, but it was a team of people that were drug addicts, robbers, burglars in the world, and that has been incarcerated for numerous of times and came to prison, or should I say jail, and was given make-believe power. Is it a right or is it a wrong? No, but that's normally how they go. Because jail is just like fucking the army. Once you get in there, you'll see the dauphin get bigger. You'll see the thug on the streets think he gets slicker. And you'll see Randy, the dauphin, calling the shots. It's like switching places, man. It's like switching places, man. And I want to talk about the weaker person today that was on the show to me. His name was David Miller. Most people didn't know, man, that David Miller really wanted his motherfucking lick back after they jumped on him. And for those that watched the show, y'all already know I'm talking about David Miller, man. It was a white guy they said that talked too much, or that was annoying, or that was aggravated. And Randy said he couldn't get along with nobody, right? But what I say about that is that he was the weaker link that was on the pod. So nobody wanted to be associated with the weaker link, right? But like I said, man, for those that haven't watched it, I'm gonna bring up a couple of photos, man. Let y'all get a load of David, man. He looks somewhat crazy, schizophrenia. He's a schizophrenia, man. It's his first time being in jail. And if you ask me, mental health played a motherfucking role in the way he acted in jail. He just was in the motherfucking me. Wrong place at the wrong time, or probably the wrong experiment, especially without being on no fucking medication, man. Check this out. This is David right here, right? And we're going to go through what David went through when he was in the jail and what was the outcome of David being taken out of the jail. This is what they don't tell you during the show. They just show you him getting his ass whooped. This is David, right? David was a motherfucker that couldn't get along with nobody. Should we feel sorry for David? I don't know. But David was a person that couldn't get along with nobody, man. And he was removed from the experiment, but they didn't say that. So if they didn't tell you that, there was a whole lot of other most shit left out, man. And like I said, man, he was the weakest link on the pod. Randy would always try to like he was ministering to him, but he wasn't ministering to him. He was talking to him in a way as if he was trying to sun him. And they do that in prison. If you show weakness in any kind of way, you're going to get sunned, unless you're willing to do what everybody else not willing to do. And that's kill a motherfucker. Let's look at some more pictures of David. This is David. This is Mr. David. Look crazy as fuck. But he is a killer. And that was the reason why he was removed from the experiment. But nobody says that during the show. Nobody tells the reason why he was removed from the show. Until, like I said, I went in depth and found out about him because I wanted to know why in the fuck were they picking on him. It was plenty more people in the jail to be picked on, but they want to pick on him, a man that ain't never been to jail. For the first time he's in jail, and all he's doing is asking questions. But I understand the people that's in jail with him was nothing on the streets. So now all of a sudden they got this motherfucker make-believe power, and this is what they do. They treat him as little him and big them, especially Randy the Dauphin. Yeah, like I said, especially Randy the Dauphin, that was the motherfucking pod boss that built a team to go out and hold court on people that didn't want to stay in line with everybody that's on the pod. And the reason why that happened is because everybody on the pod was younger than him. Or should I say, as far as doing time, he had been locked up for a substantial amount of time, so everybody gonna listen to him. But when it came to this man, they had a motherfucking problem. Now, we already know who this is. This is T. Higgins, the motherfucking sheriff, the one that created this program for these guys that was in jail, right? Was it a bad experiment? Was it a good experiment? I can't speak to it, but I will say this, that you can't expect a man to do nothing than other what he do when he go to jail, especially if he facing a motherfucking capital murder and in jail for something that a program that's on the inside can't help him. These cats that even went to court, and you trying to change their outlook on being locked up. Some of those guys wasn't even convicted of felonies. Some of them were still awaiting trial, and you wanted them to adhere to what you talking about, while you serving them all game, but no motherfucking answer for when they get out. Sheriff Higgins is his name. Once again, we got David. I don't know whether to feel sorry for David or should I say, you know what, man? You shouldn't have committed the crime and you wouldn't have to do the time, man. But like I said, man, when you put yourself in a position to be judged by other people that are nothing in the streets and go to jail and they everything, this is the motherfucking penalty you pay. Especially when you agree to be a part of experiment. Notice why I said, especially when you agree to be a part of an experiment. And I get into that as I do these series on this unlock. This won't be the last time you hear me speaking on this. I'm gonna go down the list, but I want to start with the so-called weakest that was in the jail, which was Mr. David Miller. As you can see, they said, why was Miller removed from unlock jail experiment, right? But we're going to read it together. I'm going to show you why he was removed. Miller was removed from Higgins' social program. He was caught with a shank. The inmate at Pulaski County Detention Facility, H Unit, was having problems with other prisoners, which sparked safety concerns. Well, what the fuck did you expect him to do? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What did you expect him to do? He getting jumped on, motherfuckers bullying him. You expect him just to lay down and roll over. Wrong answer. Like I said, the quietest motherfucker is the dangerous motherfucker. The other inmates held a grudge against Dave, especially Randy. Randy, true story, Randall. He claimed David was annoying, infuriating others by not being mindful of his words. The story even had a conversation with one of his fellow, leading to the Netflix show Inmates punching David while he was in. Of course, they punched him. He was the motherfucking weakest link, so he gonna get punched. David was feeling unsafe among the inmates, right? This is David, y'all. He was feeling unsafe amongst the inmates. And he decided to arm himself. As self-protection, the prisoner took a comb and started using the locks of the cell to sharpen and file it. He converted the comb into a shank. For those that don't know what a shank is, for those that have never been incarcerated, it's something that'll send your ass home if it's big enough. A shank is what you know as a makeshift knife. And like I said, if it's big enough, it will bring pain to you and in your fucking life. This is what David was about. He was tired of getting bullied. That's why I said, sometimes, or the majority of the time, the person you think the weakest link that's in the jail is to be the person that send your ass home. Police officials broke into the cell and asked him to pack his stuff and leave with them. David was confused and asked, "What's going on?" Not as if he didn't know. He knew what the fuck was going on. He added, "I'm going to file a report because this is wrong." He said he was being harassed. He probably was. He was being bullied by the motherfucker that's been in prison. And he had never been locked up. So this was a scare tactic. You know, you either shut up and follow the rules as applied by Randy True Story, or you get the shit slapped out of it. David Miller, Shank, was a threat to other inmates, and Sheriff Higgins decided to eliminate rather than shut down the whole experiment, right? Notice what I said. He decided to eliminate David because he wanted the experiment to keep going on. Experiment. You got men that are incarcerated for serious crimes, and they're experimenting with them like lab rats. But like I said, you have to sign up for this shit. And that's what they did. They signed up to be experimented with when they was at their lowest level in their life, which was incarcerated. You get what your motherfucking ass for sometime. But anyway, David was removed, he added. But we felt this was a situation, was an isolated incident. It was one person. T. Higgins said they still looking into the matter. Okay, so now he said they still looking into it, man, but the experiment been over with. Some guys have got out, some guys are still in, right? But at the end of the day, like I said, man, the weakest link will be the first one to kill you inside any prison, man, regardless of the fact, whether it's old school, new school, or whether they just coming in. Because why? Those people are intimidated and they're scared. It's the same. It's no different from being in the world. If you put a motherfucking dog in the corner, he will bite, whether he's scared or not. And they removed David, took him off the show, and moved him to another jail. As I kept reading, David got 5 years, soon to be released, or if he's not already released. Most of these inmates that you see participating in this experiment are either still locked up or free. But like I said, it was only an experiment and you had to sign up for this shit. And I will go into who got paid and who didn't get paid in my next video. So y'all stay tuned. Remember to tap in, hit that like button, and leave y'all motherfucking comments in the comment section on what y'all think about the unlocked experiment and Mr. David Miller. Should we feel sorry for him or should we not feel sorry for him? That's totally up to you. Remember, hit that like button, that subscribe button, man. Till next time, keep tapping in to the one and only Ferguson Chronicle, man, where we keep it 110 all the way across. Any prison questions, bring it to the Ferguson Chronicle, man. You will get straight answers. Salute.